This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, Don't mistake the new me for the old me. They can't stop me now, I'm with the home team. No beginner, I'm a winner. Took a couple losses, now I'm cooking, let me simmer. Yeah, tunnel vision, all I see is win, 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 win. This my city section where you been. We move faster along, but go further together. We can weather any weather forever. A dream team, I done seen things. Confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team, I here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, Forget the things you probably thought you knew. A new day is approaching, turn the gray skies into blue. I grew up on these same blocks, school of hard knocks. Had to get it on a hard time, took the hard shots, but we made it. Anticipated, highly decorated. The whole team is winning, celebrated. The victory is all mine, and everything is alright. And you know I done seen things, confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team, I here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like,
What up, though? What's going on, man? Welcome. I had to make sure I got on today because I may not be able to get on Friday. And, man, I tried to make it for Dan Campbell's press conference, but as you guys know, my son is in virtual schooling now, so I have to tend to him. Want to say what up to everybody. Lone Spoon, Lions, Live, Wire. We got Bucky. We got Jason says, is Ify done for the season? Well, that's one of the reasons that the video is titled what it is, because he's not done for the season, but is he done? Is his time with the Detroit Lions going to be over after this season? You know, something we got to talk about. Also, Dan Campbell was in front of the media today, as usual, with the press conference. We also have the Lions have brought in a safety that was a undrafted free agent. But let me pop that out real quick. We got Braylon in the house, says Sam Laporta is questionable for the Indy game. I did see that be. Let me see where we at here. Hold on, let me check my email real quick. I saw I had a new email. But before we go any further, man, I got to shout out. What's up, Jizz? I got to shout out, man, my dude. So you guys know on Monday, I was in dialogue with an individual that contacted me, and I think they were in this chat. They're like, yo, I got a ticket to the Buffalo Bills game. You want to roll? I'm like, say less, right? So I contacted him after we got off the show, and by a few hours later, he transferred me the ticket. So I will be going to the Buffalo Bills game, which is currently slated for 4:25 on the 15th of December. That game is going to be colossal, man. They're already talking about it could be a Super Bowl preview. As a matter of fact, we might have to talk about that. But in case you guys missed it, the Detroit Lions have done a few things, decided to bring in some individuals. Let me pull this up real quick so you can see it. So if you have not seen this already, which I'm sure you have, you know what? I forgot to add the S to that. We gotta make that right, man. Hold on, y'all. Let me add the S to that real quick, courtesy of Detroit Lions. There we go. So the Detroit Lions, we knew last night, have brought up Broderick Martin from the injured reserve. He now consumes a roster spot. And we signed Kayvon Merriweather to the practice squad. We released Eric Hallett. Kayvon is an undrafted guy, spent the last 2 years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last year, he played 16 games. This year, he had played 9, I believe, and now he is part of the Detroit Lions. So that's no doubt for depth. And I forgot about Lauren Strickland is being part of our safety depth. So sorry I forgot about him. But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. I wanted to make sure I got on today because I don't know if I'm going to be on Friday. So I got a lot of stuff to do the next 2 days. Tomorrow, I've got to do a lot of stuff post 4 o'clock. But then Friday, I got to go get my car serviced because it's just time. And I'll be driving to Indianapolis on Sunday. So I got to make sure everything's good, rotations, oil changes, all that stuff. And as I drive to Indy. So I want to do that. So Friday, they might say, hey, you need this done or whatever. And I will not be able to go live on Friday if they take all day. I mean, I could be back by this time and we could go on. So let's get this thing started real quick. Let me go here. And then we'll go here. We got to go here. Let me see. Man, it was something I wanted to bring up, but I forgot. Oh, Melifonwu. That's what I wanted to talk about. Let me make sure to bring him up. Ifeatu. I also want to talk about something that I saw, and I feel like we got to talk about it. All right. So let me get this thing started. So we saw yesterday that the Detroit Lions took Ifeatu Melifonwu off injured reserve. We had known that he had a new injury. Now, some believe it's his hand because that was what was listed on the practice report. He had a hand injury. Now, he went out initially with an ankle injury, and we heard very early on that it was Achilles related and that it was kind of borderline that it could rupture. So they wanted to take it safe, let him heal. So they put him on IR as the season began, because you got to remember, you can't start the season on injured reserve. So we put him on injured reserve, kind of they opened up his 21-day window. Now, between that 21-day window being opened and yesterday, he wound up getting a new injury. And Dan Campbell said that it was like a reset. So when I heard reset, I'm like, dang, man, that sounds like if you're playing Nintendo for the old school days, you hit that reset. It literally said reset. You hit that reset button, man, the game would start over. All your saved progress and all that stuff will be lost. So when Dan Campbell said it, I'm like, bruh, that sounds like a reset, like if he's starting over. Turns out that the Lions took him off IR because they had to make a decision within a few days in order, to decide whether or not they were going to bring him up or put him up for the season. So they brought him up and they immediately put him back on injured reserve. But the question that I have, there's no doubt that if he is a priority this season, because if not, they would have put him up. They would have put him up for the year. But the bigger question for me is, do you think that Ifeatu Melifonwu is going to be back next year? There's a lot of Detroit Lions with expiring contracts. Derek Barnes does not have a deal for next year. Ifeatu Melifonwu, no deal for next year. Levi Onwuzurike, no deal for next year. Do you think Ify has done enough in order to return for the Detroit Lions? Now, of course, he's got to play this year, and it could be determined whether, that could determine whether or not Ify does come back to be a Detroit Lion. But I don't know. Has he done enough to be re-signed? He actually has one more year. No, he has. I'm sorry. He is on his last year. I knew what I was talking about. All right. So last year he actually played a full season, which is crazy to me because I don't even remember that. I really don't remember. He played. He must have been doing a lot on special teams, but then he was moved into the roster lineup at the end of last year. And he made quite the impact. This dude had 3 sacks and he had 2 interceptions. And one of them was the interception to help secure the NFC North championship for us. So he really because he went from going into last year, I didn't think he was going to make the team. I mean, if you look at it, he played a total of 17 games out of 34 games. He played half of them. And in those, didn't really do a ton. He had no INTs. He had a half a sack. He had a whopping 9 solo tackles. And I'm just like, is he going to be here next year? He was. We brought him back for the 2023 season. He played all 17 games. I assume most of those were on special teams. Then he comes alive at the end. And he winds up kind of making a name for himself. 3 sacks. We used to blitz a lot from the secondary. He got 3 sacks, 2 INTs. To me, that's what made him be here in 2024. But now he has yet to take a snap in 2024. Is he going to do enough for the Detroit Lions to re-sign him in 2025? Now, the thing about this is this team will support its guys. If they've drafted you, they're going to support you. But there's going to be a pretty big turnover this year. Like I said, the Detroit Lions have to make their initial draft class. They got to start considering what they're going to do. Aleem McNeil is re-signed. Amon-Ra St. Brown was re-signed. So if we look at, okay, year one was our first round draft pick was Penei Sewell. So year one, we took Penei Sewell, we extended him. Our second round pick was Levi. He's not on a deal. Our third round pick was Aleem McNeil. He's on a deal. Our fourth round pick was Derek Barnes and St. Brown. One of those guys got deals. And then you have, man, I know we had 5 picks. We flipped them to 7. One of those guys is Jamar Jefferson. I feel like I'm missing someone, so help me out in the comments section. But Iffy was also a third round pick, right? We took him and Aleem in the third round. So my thing is, it looks like half of those guys have been re-signed. Are the other ones going to come back? If I got to be honest with you, I don't know if Iffy has done enough to come back. I don't. Obviously, they value him for this season. Obviously, he can make a run for the playoffs and really be a dog, because he was shaping up to be like a dog, man. Dude was popping people, picking people, sacking people. He was doing all that. But I don't know if that's going to be enough for him to return as a Detroit Lion. I could see him coming back on a 1-year deal. Him and Levi could return on a 1-year deal. So they could be back. But now we're at the point where we're moving past year one draft picks. You know what I mean? Like, our team is that good where we're able to move on from first round draft picks. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think that Ifeatu Melifonwu is going to be back, you know what, this year, let alone next year as well? Let me know your thoughts down below. Man, it's a good thing I'm a talker, bro. It's a good thing. So my wife said that I have the gift of gab, right? And so I'm like, man, at first I'm like, man, that's, I was kind of salty. Then I'm like, yo, I kind of do. Because if the comment section, if nobody comments, I have to create my own dialogue, right? So if it takes y'all a little while to get in here and the comment section is not moving, then I have to create something on the fly, man. It's kind of crazy. Shift God says a new injury now. What's up, Josh? What's going on? Braylon says, I think if he stays, knowing Brad Holmes. What's up, Nate? What's good, big dog? So let's kind of step away real quick. So I've been talking to season ticket holders, having a few people contact me or whatever, and it's some interesting stuff that I'm finding out. If you are a season ticket holder, it appears as though you are offered a playoff package. Like at the beginning of the year, you can opt into playoffs. Nate, correct whatever I say wrong, bro. And you can opt into them, and then they are offered to you when the time comes. Okay, and all I saw yesterday, first of all, the prices are phenomenal. The issue is you got to buy all of them. You got to buy all of them. You got to buy the wild card round. You got to buy the divisional. You got to buy the NFC title. If they either don't make those games, or if, for instance, the Lions are definitely going to be in the playoffs, there's no doubt about it. But if they don't make those, or something like that, let's say they get a bye week, you've already paid for the wild card round. Those wild card prices, or that money that you paid, will go toward next season. So what I'm understanding is that any dime that you give the Detroit Lions for season tickets, you ain't getting it back. So when I put the money down on the waiting list, it's non-refundable. It goes toward the season tickets once they come. And you got to buy the whole thing. If you can't pick one game or whatever, you got to buy all of them. So that should be interesting. Let me see. Bucky says, I'd say no, but if he fits Brad's favorite profile, we also need to bring back Mosley. So, Bucky, you think So Emmanuel Mosley has literally taken 5 snaps. You believe that we need to bring him back next year? That's something that I haven't heard, I don't think. If Mosley even played a full game for us, no, he is not. Will Broderick play Sunday? I think he will. He's not expensive or anything. I say he ends up re-signing. I think we bring him back for a 1-year deal. What's up, D-Mac? What's going on? Chase Lucas. Yep. I don't know how No, Chase Lucas was year 2. Jamar. Okay, so our 7th round picks are as follows. Year 4, we didn't have one, right? Year 1 was Jamar Jefferson. Year 2 was Chase Lucas. Year 3 was Antoine Green. Year 4, we didn't have a 7th round pick, if my memory serves me correctly. Yes, so Nate, it was all around Twitter, bro. And y'all got some good deals, dog. Y'all got some good deals, man. I cannot wait until tomorrow. The first thing I'm doing is I got a couple things I need to do. But then the second thing I'm doing is I'm getting on the waiting list, man. I don't even care if I'm in 334, row 80, all the way at the top, bro. If it's me in the banner, I don't even care, man. As long as I'm in the door, man, I feel like I should be a season ticket holder. What's up? One Pride International. Okay, where are you from? E-Man, if E-Man can get a new deal, then Iffy definitely will get a 1-year prove-it deal. Gabe, I can see that. Okay, Nate says, no, Derek, you can pay for the whole thing or pay as you play. Okay, well, see, there you go, because I got misinformation. So you're saying that when they offer you the prices, you have the opportunity to say, okay, wild card done. Then you can say, okay, they make it to the divisional. You can get those. And then they make it to the NFC title. You can get those. That's what you're saying? If the Bears can beat the Vikings, I'll be so happy because the Vikings talking a lot of trash. They really do. At chat, Derek read my comment wrong. I do not support the return of Mosley. Okay, that's my bad. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Okay, let me go back. Okay. Let me go back to email. Okay. I'd say no. But he fits Brad's favorite profile. And we also keep bringing back Mosley. Yes, you are correct. That's my bad, bro. I do that a lot. That's my fault. What's up, fun boy? What's going on, man? New Zealand. That's what's up. I'm probably your only follower from New Zealand. I think I got maybe 1 or 2 more because it shows up like where people watch your content from. It shows up. So do I think they bring him back? I don't know. I don't know if they do. I really don't know if they do. But without further ado, man, let's jump right into it. Let's bring up Dan's press conference. It's 15 minutes, so it's quite long. It's on the longer side. But I haven't watched it yet because I wanted to watch it with you guys. Also, if you are a subscriber for Lion Syndicate, I suggest that you have 41 minutes to comment. 41 minutes to comment. So, Braylon, I don't know what's going on, bro, because I checked to see if you were blocked. You're not blocked. I don't know what's going on. And so the owner of a channel, like I can't block people. I can only hide them. Like if you're, I don't know if you guys knew this, but let's say there's a person in the comments that they're antagonizing you, or they keep trying to call you out. You can block them so that you never see their comments and they never see yours. So it's almost like they're not there, but the creator of the channel, they can only hide you. So it's kind of crazy. They can put you in timeout or they can hide you. So I don't know what's going on there, man. Okay, Nate says, what's up, Tyrone? Nate says, yeah, when they clinch the first playoff game, I get charged for that game. When they win the playoff game, I get charged for the next. Oh, okay, Nate. So, question, can you opt out of the charge or no? So, if you're a season ticket holder, they make the NFC title game and you just, they like, we coming for that credit card, right? You can't opt out. And then if they charge you and let's say the Lions don't make that, then they put those funds toward next year. What's up, Cordell? Says, Jason says, what is that? Pies, PA, 20 minutes south of, okay. Come on, Super Bowl. Come to the Super Bowl with us by subscribing today. I like that. Will the season be a complete loss if they lose their first playoff game? Matthew, Y'all already know how I feel. Hey, Bonzilla, bro, listen. I'm trying to get my hands on some myself. And look, I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. Y'all are, I got some mad fans of the channel. But let's do this. Okay, I want to, I've been kind of not nervous, but you know, sometimes you don't have to insert yourself in everybody's fight. And I saw something today that to me was irritating. Matt says, I love this channel. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. My nose hair, not my nose hair, my mustache hair. Man, I'm going to tell you what. If you got nose hair, do something about it. If your nose hair can be seen outside of your nostril, you need to clip it. Okay, I'm just going to keep it a buck. Let's just keep it a buck, okay? That's why I'm getting my Manscaped. I got some nose hair trimmers, but my mustache hair up here is crazy, so it tickles the bottom down here. It's ridiculous. Okay, Nate says, so if they lose the wild card or divisional, you don't get charged for the next game. Gotcha. Okay, so you don't, but if they win, they like, I'm coming. I got you. I get what you're saying. Justin says we ain't losing. I got to admit, our defense, our run defense is on point. Nose hair syndicate. I like that, bro. I like that. You should do a giveaway, Derek, to get some, we should do a giveaway for Derek to get some new hoodies. Hey, but listen, I wear this on purpose. Plus, the hoodies are hard to find if it ain't winter here in Michigan. But I wear this on purpose. I have at least 2 hoodies. Plus, I like very specific ones, all right? This one is fantastic. The blue one that I'm wearing to the Colts game is fantastic. But then you get ones that's made out of like 100% cotton. They have no give in them at all. This one got a little polyester in this joint. The 100% cotton has 0 give. So that's why you see me wear. Plus, you know, this is my work uniform. I look at it like that. You can do 12 monthly payments for the season tickets and it's 0 interest. Okay. See, people be lying, bro. People be lying. People be thinking too much of themselves. All right. People, I don't know, be thinking too much of themselves. All right, let me pull this up because I want to have a conversation about this. Did I bookmark this? No, I didn't. But I commented on it, and I want to bring it up. Can't wait to get going. Dang. Okay, so you guys might know what I'm talking about. Dang, okay, I should have bookmarked it. So dang, hold on, man. All right. So I can't find it, but I wanted to talk about something Matt Derry said about Jameson Williams because he is getting destroyed today. And I wanted to get you guys' take on the whole thing, but I can't find it. So what we'll do is, and that's why I bookmark everything. All right, let me see. Dang. Okay. All right. Yeah. He said something, but I can't find the tweet. All right, hold on. Okay, here we go. I might have found it, y'all. I got to scroll and find it, though. Dang, where is it? Okay, here we go. I found it. Okay, hold on, y'all. And we'll talk about the press conference for sure. Give me a second. See, this is what happens when you don't have a producer, man. You don't have somebody, but listen, I'm working on it. All right. All right, here we go. All right, so I've been seeing this guy, man. I've been seeing Twitter having their rounds on a certain particular individual, and I got to choose my battles very carefully. So this isn't my fight, and I'm not going to fight his battles. But I wanted to get you guys' opinion as respectfully as possible about this subject. Now, I saw, first of all, Matt Derry is the host of Locked On Lions. He actually used to be a radio host back in the day. See, I'm old enough to remember when Matt Derry was on, I want to say 105.1 or something like that. It was a radio station here in Detroit, and he used to be on that a long, long time ago. And I remember him. So when he took over the host of Locked On Lions, it was cool to see. The funny thing about Locked On Lions is when they came over to YouTube, because they weren't initially on YouTube, they were a podcasting thing. Then Locked On Lions was, let me just give you a brief rundown about Locked On Lions, 60 seconds. Locked On Lions, the Locked On Podcast Network was created by a play-by-play or the play caller, not the play caller, the person who calls the plays for the Utah Jazz, came up with an idea, and his last name is Lock. So he started Locked On Podcast Network. That turned into a huge thing on the podcast format. They migrated to YouTube as well in 2021. And so the Detroit Lions they had a podcast, but he wasn't on YouTube yet. So a very long time ago, I actually was like, well, where's the Lions one? And I was going to kind of throw my hat in and see if I would be a good fit. But I don't know if I could do a 30-minute show every day. Like, that ain't my thing. So fast forward, we get to Matt Derry. Matt Derry is very opinionated. I've talked to him on Twitter a few times, try to give him some tips and things like that. Sometimes a snapback. He's real snappy. But, he does his thing over there for the Locked On Podcast Network. Well, he said something about Jameson Williams and his dive into the end zone, replicating the Marshawn Lynch dive after Beastquake. And here's what he had to say. And again, when you guys comment in the comment section, be respectful, because I don't want to have to put anybody out. We all have opinions, and everybody's entitled to theirs. But here's what we're just going to discuss. Was there any validity to Matt's opinion? And we'll go from there. So here's what Matt Derry had to say about Jameson Williams, his leap into the end zone.
The one to Jameson Williams where he turned on the burners and then acted like a complete clown and grabbed his crotch and what? I'm done talking about that. Let me just, actually, I'm not done talking about it. Let me just get this out of the way before all the YouTube commenters come after me. Jameson Williams' act is getting tired. Sorry, guy's a talented player, but jumping backwards into the end zone when you don't have to. What if he hit his head, cracked his head open? What if he got a concussion? What if he hurt himself? Just run into the end zone. Just run in there. Just do what your other teammates do. You want to dance after? Go for it. Grabbing his crotch like Marshawn Lynch, whatever. You guys think it's cool? Hey, Breaking T has a t-shirt for it. Awesome. I think it's stupid. Sorry. Talented kid, but it seems like every week we bring up an immature act, including the one to Jameson Williams where he turned on the burner.
So that's what Matt Derry had to say about J-Mo and jumping into the end zone. Now, I got some thoughts about it, all right? I've never been one to back down when it comes to my thoughts. I think that there's a lot of weak individuals on this platform, a lot of individuals who just want to, they want to appease the masses. So I respect Matt for voicing his opinion, although it might be one that people don't agree with. So I respect that. I didn't necessarily like the him doing it either, because of injury concerns. Now, I know St. Brown did like the Dragon Ball Z something. I didn't even see that. I had to see it on Twitter to actually, and I'm guessing he also fell back. I didn't see it in real time. I just actually saw a picture of what looked like the Lions were maybe giving St. Brown a Hadouken. I know that's a Street Fighter thing, but then he kind of flies back and stuff like that. I'm not a fan of any celebration that could lead to potential injury. the flipping in the end zone. I actually hate that. Jameson Williams has done this a lot. He's dived in the end zone. He's done flips. This isn't the first time he's done that. And I would hate for the guy to get hurt because of something like that. And I think if Jameson Williams did get hurt, I think that this would be a different conversation. And that's the game of football, right? If he got hurt, then we would be having a different conversation. So, and as far as the crotch thing is concerned, listen, when I saw it, I was like, dang, I remember when Marshawn Lynch did it with the Beast Quake. And the reason Marshawn did it, he was doing that to the NFL. He was doing it. It was giant, basically a forget you to the NFL. And when I saw Jameson Williams do it, that's exactly what I thought. Now, was there a flag on the play? I thought that he could have been flagged, and that's kind of the first thing I thought was, man, what if he hurt himself? Because I hate when any player does it. I think it's dumb. If you guys remember Stephen Tulloch with the jump celebration after a sack tore his ACL. So if Jameson Williams gets hurt doing that, concussion, broken anything, we will never, ever be nice to him. Like, we will come for him, and that will be the end. We will never let that go. Some people, that'll be the point where they're done with JMO, right? Now, the crotch thing, like I said, man, that's, to me, I mean, I know why Marshawn did it, and I know why Jameson did it. I don't know what the coaches said. I know what I saw afterward. What I saw is it looked like Jared Goff ran down there, and here's what I think. Here's what I think happened. Maybe one of his teammates was like, yo, be careful. You know what I'm saying? I think that the teammates probably try to encourage him. What was the act? Was it to me, it was defiant. That's what it was. It was Marshawn Lynch was a defiant dude when it came to the NFL. We know how he is outside the NFL. Did he do anything wrong? Not necessarily. I think everybody is entitled to how they feel about it. And I think that, that's up to them. Now, I saw something today. I never, ever, ever watched this network, ever. But it was Matt Derry, and this whole thing was making its rounds on Twitter, okay? So I see a response to this on a very popular network here in Detroit, a 10-minute segment, okay? And they absolutely destroy him, okay? Your opinion on Matt Derry is fine. Everybody's entitled to one. People got opinions about me. But this particular network destroys him. And one of the guys on there was out of line. No way he was talking to Matt Derry. And I'm going to just keep it $150. You ain't talking to me like that. That's 100. That's 110, okay? Because DJ Quick said it the best. He said, let's see if we can have a conversation and fix this situation. That's all I'm saying, bro. Now, your response to Matt Derry, everybody's entitled to it, but I think a level of respect needs to be shown when in this media space. And this particular network is full of disrespectful people. And I'm going to just keep it $150. As a matter of fact, let's go up to $2. You ain't going to talk to me like that. That's all I'm saying. That's crazy. I done had a lot of segments about J-Mo. Ain't none of my segments been brought in. And Kanye West said it the best too. He said, the only thing I wish a brother would. All right. So whether or not you feel how you feel about Matt Derry, that's your opinion, your business. I'm glad Jameson Williams didn't get hurt because we would have never stopped talking about that. Was the crotch grab defiant? Yes, it was. It was. That's what it was for. That's what it was for. Marshawn Lynch did it for those very reasons. Am I going to string the kid up? I'm not. Coach deals with that. Here's the thing about Jameson Williams. This is the bottom line about Jameson Williams, anybody else. The more they talk about you negatively in the news, it overshadows everything good you do, whatever the situation is. And if he winds up, we don't make the decisions. We don't. You know what I'm saying? Jameson Williams got a contract in a few years. He got a contract. He got a 5th-year option. The Lions will pick that up. Will he get a new contract? Will he get extended? We don't know. But that ain't for us to worry about. All we do is talk about it. His NFL career is in his hands. So, I mean, I'm old. I'm 45. You know what I'm saying? These cats is young. They disrespectful. I'm not talking about J-Mo. I'm talking about these other cats, right? So Matt is from the old school. He from the old school. But here's the thing. I'm from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? What J-Mo say? He said, you know where I live? I live in Detroit. I'm from Detroit, bro. Matt ain't from Detroit. Matt ain't about certain lives. But shout out to Derry for not responding to it. As far as I know on Twitter, he has a firm job. He's the host of Locked On Lions. He ain't gonna respond to this. But I'm just like, it don't really bother me what he said. That was just his opinion. Everybody's entitled to one. But anyway, let me know your thoughts, man, on Matt Derry and his Jameson Williams. Do you think it was immature? Do you think that what Jameson Williams did? And yeah, the only thing I wish your brother would. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next video. Let me take these off. Did it rhyme? Keep that same energy for St. Brown handstand on wet grass. Matt was out of pocket. See, that's what I like, Nate. I like to hear this. You know what I realized, though? When people talk about the Detroit Lions, we be ready to fight each other. Bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't like anything that people can get hurt, right? So St. Brown does the handstand and the headstand. And the first thing I thought was his neck. But I'm saying I couldn't do that, right? When you're running at, I don't know, a certain speed, would I dive into the end zone? Even healthy, I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. I always think about somebody getting injured. But I think what happens is your past, your reputation follows you. On Twitter, I get chopped up all the time because of my criticism of not only Brad Holmes and the team. So this guy was like, no wonder you have the reputation you do. I'm like, what reputation? The fact that I just don't, gobble Brad Holmes up? I don't understand, right? Waymo was having phone, leave him alone, Matt. Okay, so let me ask you this. Let's take it from this side. What if Jameson Williams got hurt? So let's turn it. Let's take it away from Matt Derry, and let's say Jameson Williams get hurt. What would the conversation be then? And I'm just very curious to know. If he got hurt, what would the conversation be? If any of our players, let's Jameson Williams. If St. Brown would have got hurt doing the little Hadouken thing, I didn't see it in real time, so I want to know what it's like. Did he hit the ground at full speed? Like what? If a player for the Detroit Lions gets hurt based off that, what would you feel? Would you have changed, or would you be like, okay, Matt? I mean, listen, y'all was coming at me about the pass rush. You know how much stuff I had to endure about the Lions pass rush all off season? When I criticized Brad Holmes for signing Marcus Davenport, I got destroyed, but I stood firm, and guess what? He wound up. I was right. I was right. So, I think everybody's entitled to their opinion. I think the thing about Matt is it's different because me and Jameson Williams look the same. You know what I'm saying? Like it can come across like that. I feel like that is still a thing. Is it like that with Matt? I'm not saying that at all, but I think that it can come across that way. So I talk about Jameson Williams. I disagree with some of the things, you know what I'm saying? I didn't like it because he could have been hurt. You know what I'm saying? I don't like any of them, but I'm not going to be able to stop them from doing that. And if he get hurt, that's on him. That ain't on me. Headstand tee was stuff of legends, excitement and competitive apart from the game. Steve says, thank you, Derek. For what, Steve? Barry Sanders was cut on because he didn't celebrate a TD. Man, could y'all be Barry? Barry just be like, touchdown, ball. He'd get a ball to the ref, to a lineman, whatever. Could y'all do that? Like, I wonder all the time, would I not celebrate at all? Barry, I don't even know one time Barry Sanders celebrated. We would criticize J-Mo for being reckless. People have headbutted the mat and knocked out themselves out. Ferguson, who did that? Gus Farratt. Gus Farratt headbutted the goalposts and gave himself some type of neck issue. Listen, I look like a young Brad Holmes. I'm glad he's darker than me. Is Brad Holmes dark? Brad Holmes got to be at least a shade darker than me. He got to be at least a shade. If he didn't get hurt, if he did get hurt, it would be different. Thank you for letting these people know that you have to be smart with what celebrations you do. You know what? This is what I learned. I learned this is that people love their football teams. And these guys are extension. Why is football so important to us? Because I feel like no other sport, we feel like these guys are part of our family. We feel like we know all of these guys. When Hutch was hurt, I couldn't sleep. I don't even know Hutch. He could see me on the street and wouldn't even know who I am. Who is this dude? I'd be like, Aiden, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I met Jameson Williams in Dave & Buster's in 2022. Who is this guy? I mean, Aiden, he might know, maybe like, hey, I saw a video, maybe, you know what I'm saying? He might know who I am. Like you the dude with the bobblehead of me on he might, right? That's an off shot. He might know, but realistically, he not gonna know who I am. So, but I was like, Hutch, man, I could not sleep. I felt like he was my son out there. You know what I mean? Like realistically, I could be his dad. I'm 45. He's 24, 25. Right. So, that would be a story right there. But I'm just like, why do we feel so connected to people we don't even know? Right. It's because they represent us. They're an expansion. They're an extension of who we are. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Last thing I'll say about J-Mo is he got to be careful. He's got to be careful because if he got hurt, that's on him. Right? Stephen Tulloch, y'all remember him? He did a little celebration out. If he gets hurt, then he's getting criticized. That's the line you walk. When he turned around and dove in the end zone or leapt in I couldn't imagine falling from, the dude had to be about 5 feet in the air, bruh. Now, I couldn't imagine, but then again, these guys play football for a living and get hit. So, I mean, but I just think about injury. Like, what if you do a backflip and you break your back or something like that? You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Just something I wouldn't do. If Coach Campbell is good with it, then I don't care. Okay, Harpazo, here's the thing. Do you know if Coach is good with it? Coach ain't a dude to throw his players under the bus, so we don't know if a private conversation happened. I mean, Jameson Williams has done it before. He's leapt, he's flipped, he's done all that stuff, and he still does it. So, I don't know. Maybe Coach lets him be. He let him play. He let him celebrate. And then he'd be like, yo, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. We don't know if Dan was okay with it. Here's the thing. I don't see any head coach saying, yo, you know what? When you score a touchdown, I want you to do a backflip or a front flip at full speed. You think any coach going to be like, do that, especially to a star player? We're not talking about like a third string player. We're not talking about like Craig Reynolds being out there doing a backflip or a front flip. Why do you think? So you know what? Let me retort to that. Kirby Joseph rumoredly was told to stop flipping during intros. There's a reason. So I would have to assume that Jameson Williams probably, or any other Lion, would be told the same thing. So I don't know. Are they going to listen to their coach? That's on them. That's on them. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. Gus Farrat running into the wall was hilarious. I don't know what dude would think, especially using his head. As long as he's athletic enough to actually flip into the end zone. No, I'm not. I wouldn't think Coach would have covered this with his boys. Facts, Bucky, no one talks about the fact that he's active in the community. Actually, because negativity sells. That's what sells. Nobody talks about the good. Jameson Williams does a lot of good. Look, when I met him at David Buster's. He was super quiet. The funniest thing ever. I don't know if y'all remember this, but I told this on a different channel. So I see him in Dave & Buster's, and he has a mask on. He has a mask on. No, he didn't have a mask on. And I'm like this. Is that Jameson Williams? I'm like, is that J-Mo? So I'm saying to myself, I'm thinking of my YouTube video. I'm like, yo, there's no way. Because I met Matt Patricia as well. But it was COVID. He was at his house, and I wanted to get a picture with him just so I could prove that I met him. So I see Jameson, and he was a super nice kid, man. I was like, yo, he was with his girl, and I'm like, dude, I run a YouTube channel. Can I get a picture so people can't believe me? So he gave me a picture, and then soon as I turned around, he was already done. I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? So he's a nice guy, but negativity is what sells. It is, man. That's just like drama. Drama, how many times have y'all tuned in to drama? Like you'll go look some drama, some beef will start, right? And you'll keep looking to see what's happening. I mean, it's what sell, man. It is. What's up, Derek? You're going to stream Friday. Hernando, not sure because I got to go take my car to get serviced, and depending on what it needs, I might be gone for a while, but I could come back and I would like to stream at least one more time so I could have some content for the weekend. Matt doesn't talk about the good stuff, addressing him as a clown. Well, I mean, the clown was over the top. I wouldn't have called him a clown. I think sometimes what I will say this, that Matt he be losing it sometimes. He be losing it. I remember watching one because I watched the show and I remember him cursing. He got reamed out for cursing. Check this out. He said the F word and they wind up having him. So I thought he got fired at first, but they wind up. So it's a new show every day. So they wind up, I think, leaving the original show up there, or they edit it out. They put up a new show of the same show and beeped out the curse word. And then he had to apologize the next day. So I think clown was going too far. I think he kind of let his emotions come out a little bit, and it went from there. I do like drama when it's not mine. In a way, J-Mo is the Lions, all the talent in the world, just some slight malpractice up top. and the entire world is trying to drag you down. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I would have just been like, dog, you know what I'm saying? I don't like any of that. Anytime you can get yourself hurt, I don't like, okay, Alexander Zaloni said it the best. He said, you know, why did I get hurt this play? Then he thinks about all the other times he doesn't get hurt. And I think about that when I watch these players play. I don't, like every single play, I'm like, get up, right? And when you don't see somebody get up, so to put yourself in another position where you can get hurt more, it's just like, it don't make sense to me. But, you know, thankfully he's okay. And, you know, Matt Derry rubs me the wrong way. I don't like him. You know what? I think it's his attitude. Just like, okay, for instance, Matt comes off a little smug, and I kind of come off that way too sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I delivered everything, like, let's say the difference between me and my delivery, Brad Holmes. I don't like, you know what? I really wish Brad Holmes would have addressed the pass rush. He didn't do it in the draft, blah, 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 right? It's different from how I deliver it. I deliver it with the motion behind it. And sometimes I have noticed that Matt, he will kind of slide and kind of come out of his skin a little bit, and I think that's when he mess up. Negative sales, bro. Been talking about this for 30 minutes. So who are you, bro? Who are you? Who are you, bro? Let's find out who Zoe is. And it's been about 15 minutes. Zoe, who you be, bro? Let's find out Zoe. Let's give Zoe the floor. I got time, Zoe. Okay, Zoe, I gave you the opportunity. He could be typing. He could be typing. So while we give Zoe the floor and we'll let him comment, let's hear what Dan Campbell had to say in his press conference.
Colts, good team, very much in the mix. We talked about playoff and that division. This team plays hard. They've got talent. I think Shane's done a heck of a job over there. We had a lot of crossover tape over 2 years. I think they do a real good job. And then what they've done with Richardson now that he's come back, especially last week against the Jets, they've really opened up Richardson. So he's got the ability to throw it downfield. He's strong. He's big. He can run. And these receivers are dangerous. And obviously the back, he's, I think it all starts with him. So, and then Gus, got a lot of respect for Gus Bradley. He's done it for a long time. Every time he plays defenses, they're disciplined, they play hard, they're smart, and they create takeaways, and that's what they're doing this year. So really starts with that D-line, particularly, Stewart and DeForest up front. 44 is an issue, run and hit, smart, aggressive, and Kenny Moore, among others. But, special teams, they got a couple of playmakers over there too, 16-41. So, we got our work cut out for us. We're looking forward to this challenge and on to the next one. Questions?
I want to ask you about two of your probably more unsung staff members, Thelma and Bird. What have they done to contribute to 9-1?
Who?
What do you get, Thelma and Bird?
You talking about my dogs? Oh, no. Oh, no.
You know who to blame for this question.
Yeah.
What have you contributed? What do you get out of that? You get something out of all relationships.
Yeah. I would rather not answer that.
Wait a minute. They asking about, hey, your organization is having fun when they asking about Dan Campbell's dogs. That is, look at the smile on his face though, man. This is classic. It feels good to win, bro. And could you imagine, like, none of this would happen with our former coach and general manager. This is insane. Shout out to Coach, man. And shout out to his wife, too, man. Always putting, like, posts on Instagram and stuff like that. Coach seemed like a different guy, man. It's awesome.
I was not expecting that one. Look, I like my dogs. All right, it's probably
All right, so Zoe in the building. Zoe said you've been here for years. Zoe, let me get back on camera. You said negativity sells. This stream ain't even monetized, bro. It ain't even. I'm literally making no money off this. So is we having a conversation about our football team, and I wasn't being negative at all. My focus was on Matt Derry and his response. And did you agree with it? You know, I voiced mine and we kept it moving. So you're talking about I've been talking about it for 30 minutes. You would be wrong if you're gonna accuse me of something. At least get it right. So I'm gonna need you to say 15 to 20. I made a segment about it, and then it went on about 5 or 6 minutes more. That's not 30 minutes to me. So appreciate your support, though.
Best way to say it. I like my dogs. We've had some good ones. These are a couple of characters, and they're totally different, but they go with me on coffee runs. That's probably the best way to say it. So.
Is there a balance though that any pet brings to the high stress level of someone like you in your position, just calm you down? Do they ramp you up? Well, what's that relationship?
Well, I think it's like kids, right? When you got little kids, they don't care. They don't care what's going on. I remember, my son and my daughter, both of them, when they were young, and you come home from a loss, they don't know any different. They're just happy to see you, and they don't know the outside world. They don't know the stress, the pressure, and you appreciate that. And dogs are the same way, right? I mean, they just love you. They love you for what you are, and and they don't have bad days, so it's pretty cool.
Pretty stressful stretch of the season. I think it's 4 games in 18 days, and you become accustomed, I think, to the Thanksgiving schedule, and plenty of teams play on Thursday. But you've been doing these walkthroughs on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. How important is kind of load management with guys from a practice perspective, maybe even on Sundays, to kind of make sure they get through this healthy for the stretch run?
Yeah, I think it's I think it's been good for us, and we've every year has been different for us. And you got to go with what you feel like is best for your team in that moment, in that year. And so every year it's kind of evolved. I mean, last year we were still going. We were still practicing pretty good Wednesdays, Thursdays. But we also had a different schedule. We were a little bit younger. Our core of this team is older now, more mature. We're not old, but we played a lot of football together, and so they kind of know what to expect. Played with each other long enough. The staff's been together, myself, the whole thing. So I feel like it was something we can handle. And if you can handle it, it does help. I feel like it helps you bounce back just a little bit quicker for these games. It gives you just a little more juice. And it doesn't mean that it's going to make the difference in the game. Because what you realize, it doesn't matter. We could pad up for 3 days in a row and still go win a game. If you believe you're going to win it, you do things right, but this is the right thing to do, and it's been good for us. So if you can take a little bit off, it's good. And the flip side of that is, okay, but tomorrow when we come in, man, we're smoking, and this is just like we did last week, man. That practice should look like game time. We were flying and we're competing. It will.
Yeah, I remember when you had Yonder Swift and Jamal Williams, you said two of the guys that you kind of envisioned them becoming was like Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
When you was around that duo, now seeing the duo that you built here, what did you learn to kind of see early on, like, hey, this could be something I could build maybe later along the line, like from seeing those two guys working the back together?
Number one, they were both great teammates, and it was, AK was the young guy that came in. He had the electric juice, man. He was, as the player he is now, he was just young, he was raw. And Mark was, he wasn't old, but he was a savvy veteran in his prime, was more our hammer, but could do everything, man. I mean, he could run choice routes out of the backfield. He could run inside zone, wide zone. You could toss it to him. He had enough breakaway speed to finish down the field in the end zone on run, So he had this all-encompassing, protections, the whole thing. And so AK was able to learn kind of around him, under him, watch him, and develop his game a little bit. Gravitated more towards Mark, but yet he had what he's got, right? He's got the other things that Mark never had. And so I just think it makes you well-rounded, and they kind of, you begin to mesh, right? You begin to take each other's abilities and try to use them as your own a little bit, and it just elevates each one of them. And they're also competing. They're friends, and I think that's what we've got here. I think, I think David and and Gibbs are like brothers. I really do, you know, and I think David's big brother, and, you know, he's not going to let anybody mess with him. You know, that's his guy. And now he'll mess with him, and if he does something wrong, he's going to let him know. But, you know, that's his. He takes him under his wing, and I think they've elevated each other, you know, and he's made Gibbs better, and I think Gibbs has helped him too. And when you have that, and you have that competition, you have that love for one another, just the whole thing, I mean, to me, they're the perfect combination. It didn't come any better, in my opinion. You got everything you need out of those two players, run or pass game.
David had that big brother sort of mentality when you brought him in here. Did you sense that about him even in the free agent process?
Well, I think that's hard to say because, you know, he's coming in as a free agent, and I think he wants to make his own mark first. That, you know, that's important. Like, hey, man, these guys are taking a chance on me, right? Free agency. He wants to prove his own worth and let us know, hey, what you signed on is you're about to see and then some. And so I think so much of it started there. But, man, once we acquired Gibbs, it didn't take long. And that's just how David is, you know. Even if he wanted to hide that, he can't hide it. He wants to help, and he's all about. He really is a team first guy. He really is. I mean, he'd lay it on the line for those guys, and if it meant he didn't get the touch, but it meant somebody else was getting that for us to win the game, he's all for it, you know. And that's not an easy thing to do, man. Put your ego aside. So, I'll tell you what, he's been an unbelievable addition for us, though. I mean, he fits us perfect. I'm so thankful we got him here. That worked out great.
Couple on your tight end. Number one, are you more optimistic that Sam gets in? I know it's just Wednesday this week. And then number two, can you shed some light on the way that whole room stepped up this past weekend?
Yeah, so there again, walked through today, but I think it's trending. It's questionable to above for Laporta. You know, I think it's trending the right way. And yeah, those guys didn't miss a beat. You know, we got James Mitchell up off a practice squad. He showed up, played for us. I thought he played a solid game. You know, certainly wasn't too big for him. He's played for us before. That was good. I thought, you know, Brock carried the load for us, man. Played a lot of reps, a lot of snaps. And he really had to do a lot of different jobs. We all know he does the dirty work, the run game, the protection, which he was outstanding in protection. But then the number of routes he had to run that you don't even notice, and they're clear outs, they're, you know, and then he's blocking downfield. So he really bailed us out and helped us out a ton there. And then Zylstra too. You know, Zylstra's been you know, kind of a staple for us now, going on 4 weeks or whatever that is, and just quietly goes about his business and does his job. So it's been a good group, and Steve's doing a good job with them.
There's a guy like David Long.
Last four, Justin, Nolan, Tim, and Larry.
David Long, a young veteran like that with that kind of resume doesn't come available that often in the middle of a season. I understand he's on practice squad right now, but you know, what is a pickup like that? What can that maybe offer you at some point during the season?
Well, he's played football. You know, he's played the linebacker position. He's banked a lot of reps and played really good football. You know, he's really one of those guys. He's got a knack for finding the ball. He's an aggressive player. You know, run and hit. And so it gave us a chance to have somebody that you know, if we need it, and he can acclimate to what we do, how we do things here, get on top of the playbook. You know, then if we can use him, we'll use him, you know. And in the meantime, it's special teams and it's insurance is really the role, you know, right now. But it was, you know, we're excited to have him here and just see what he can do. Let him compete like everybody else.
Mentioned Richardson off the top. He's coming off one of his best games.
Who's that?
Richardson?
Yeah.
When he's at his best, what makes his style of football and quarterbacking unique?
Well, I think what you saw was last week really at his best. I'm not even sure you can go back to early in the year, because I feel like they've taken the handcuffs off of him and allowed him to just go. And I think it's, you know, there's a lot of things to where, you know, you got to be careful. That's your guy. You run him too much, he gets hit, he gets injured, and I think now it's not, you know, all bets are off, and we got to get first downs, we got to score touchdowns, and you got to lead us to it. And so when you run him the way you run him, and with the different schemes that they're doing it with, I mean, they've got quarterback power, they got the RPO, they got the read run, they've got the play action off of that. It's and then he can scramble, and then if he is in the pocket and you've got your arms around him, trying to bring him to the ground, he'll just stiff arm you off of him. He'll just press you off and then throw it down the field, and it's rare. His strength, his ability to run, and he really does have a nice deep ball. He's an accurate passer down the field, and I mean deep. So that's what makes him dangerous. It's all encompassing is what it is. And when you accompany that by getting this halfback going, you get Taylor going, and all of a sudden, man, this becomes a very dangerous offense. So it's really no different than anything else. We cannot allow them to get this run game going, because if they do, it's going to be tough.
You talked about kind of filling Alex's role by committee, maybe, but just how important is Malcolm going to be over the next 4, 5, 6 weeks? Him stepping up and playing a bigger role and just doing a lot of the things that he does to kind of keep you guys afloat.
Yeah, it's very important. I mean, he really does become somewhat the next man up. I mean, he and Jack are going to take on that. Jack's been playing with Alex in a heavy load, but it's really Jack and Malcolm. I mean, those are the two that they're going to take on the heaviest load of that whole room. And so, yeah, he knows that, but he's ready for it. I mean, Malcolm's a football player, man, and, he embraces this. And some of this stuff, like this week, is right in his wheelhouse. This fits him perfect, and Jack, too, for that matter. So he'll be big for us, and he's going to be big the rest of the season. Doesn't matter who we get back. We're going to use him, and he helps us there on defense, and he helps us on special teams.
Montgomery and how hard he runs, and how rarely the first guy gets him. Does that remind you of anyone else that you've seen, ever? Or who does he remind you of in that way?
Man, to me, he's a throwback. There's a throwback principles about him, and I mean that with all due respect. His running style it's rare. It's rare. Look, we were watching clips this morning. I think Mixon at Houston runs really hard in today's football, too. He's an aggressive style, but I think David is just different. And, I mean, his downhill doesn't give up. First guy, he's not going to let him tackle him, continues to churn his legs, and just violent, never give up, never going down. When I watch him, it just reminds me of, some of the great ones, man, back in the heyday. I mean, they don't go down. And so, freaking Earl Campbell, man. Earl Campbell ran like crazy. Walter Payton ran like crazy and would not go down, So anyway, I think he's rare. I think we're fortunate to have him. And I can tell you this, the O-line loves blocking for that guy. And anybody that plays with him, I mean, you want to talk about inspiring. That inspires you to want to block. Yep.
Take those off real quick. And there was your head coach, Dan Campbell, man, on a 15-minute press conference, talked about his dogs, talked about Jack Campbell taking a bigger load, talked about a lot of things. Couple of segments I want to go. I saw that you guys said the practice report was out, so let me cue that up real quick. Bring up my Twitter account. Yes, I still call it Twitter. I think I always will. We'll go here. Appreciate you, B, as usual. All right, let's take a look at the full practice report for the Detroit Lions. Go here. This is the practice report. Carlton Davis, full practice. He played, so we know we have no issue there. Sam Laporta, full practice. Good to let him rest. Emmanuel Mosley, pectoral. Man, full practice. Allen Robinson, the heck? Game day concussion protocol evaluation. That made me a little nervous. I was like, what's a GCPE? What the heck is that? Sound like something else, man. Shane Zylstra had a neck situation. I didn't even know that happened, so it's good to see. So far, so good, man. We are a healthy for what it's worth, man. A healthy squad. That's what's up. All right. So I got 2 more segments I want to make, and then we'll wrap up the show. May or may not be on Thursday. I'm not sure yet, guys. So let me pull up this. I need to go here. All right. So the Detroit Lions place Alex Anzalone on injured reserve, and he's going to be out for a minimum of 4 weeks. Broken forearm. They say it takes 6 to 8 to heal. We're looking at the playoffs potentially for Alex Anzalone. He's going to be missed, but I think Jack Campbell, we took him in the first round. I mean, this guy has been showing his value. He's going to continue to do that. The question I have for you is, the Detroit Lions might be in a little bit of a sticky situation. I couldn't remember off the top of my head how many people we brought back from injured reserve that were part of those 8 heading into the season. Don't forget that Emmanuel Mosley and Broderick Martin were designated to return. So those 2 spots, you get 2 of those. They use them, and those are the 2 spots that they didn't count toward the 8 for regular IR. If you make it to the playoffs, you get an additional 2 for a total of 10. So as far as I know, the only person off the top of the dome that has been brought off IR, off regular IR, is Ifeatu Melifonwu. So the question that I have, as you guys can put it in the comment section or the chat and tell me, it's going to be right around here. So you can tell me which players are we going to bring from injured reserve. Let's take a look at who's on injured reserve right now. Alex Anzalone. So which of these players, we have either 7 remaining. Well, no, let's look at this. If he takes up 2, because they put him on IR again, which means they intend to maybe elevate him in 4 weeks minimum. So that means we have 6 left for the regular season. And then we're going to get 2 for the playoffs because we already know we're there. So who are we bringing up? You've got Alex Anzalone. We know that David's done for the season. Michael's done for the season. Derek Barnes, that's 2. John Kaminsky, that's 3. We know that Marcus is done. Connor's done. Antoine's done. Aiden, that's 4. Okay? So you could essentially put him in that playoff, those extra 2 for the playoffs. That's 4 there. Ifeatu Melifonwu would be 5. Emmanuel Mosley does not count. And Kyle Pecco's done. Jalen Reeves-Maybin would be 6. This guy's done as well. I didn't even know. Man, I feel bad because I didn't even know he was on the squad. So if I counted correctly, that is 6 of the essentially 7 spots we have. So we've got, because like I said, if you started with 8, and I think that the only guy that we've brought off the in-season IR was Ifeatu Melifonwu. So that essentially means that we only have room for 1 to 2 more people to come off IR if they get hurt again. Hopefully that doesn't happen. And we're getting to the point now that if, depending on the severity of your injury, all right, you could be done for the season. If you get an injury that's going to take 2 to 4 months, you're going to be probably done for the season. So which of these, I think the 6 people that I named are the ones that come off, assuming they can come off. So let me know what you think. Do you think that the Detroit Lions bring all of these guys off IR? I know we got to wait and see. Derek is iffy. Iffy's iffy. John Kaminsky is iffy. I think everybody else that we mentioned could have a shot to come back. Aiden is also iffy as well. So the Lions right now are in good position. And don't forget, you also have the 7 people that you can have inactive. So what happens is the whole purpose of IR is to clear up a roster spot. So if they go to the IR, then they no longer occupy an active roster spot. But then you have the ones that the spots from 46 to 53. That's why you get 6 to 7 people inactive every game day. So I think the Lions are in good position right now. We do have 7 regular seasons games to go. So hopefully nobody gets injured too much, man, that they would have to go on IR. But I think the Detroit Lions right now are in a primo position to be able to bring all the players that we mentioned back to the active roster. Okay, how did Ify get hurt? So apparently he got hurt again. That had nothing to do with the Achilles or the ankle. So how did he get hurt? I don't know. Maybe it was practice. I have no idea. Kyle Pecco, he's on that list. Yeah, he's done for the year. He tore his pectoral in one of the Dallas game. It was somewhere around there. He got hurt the same game Aiden got hurt because we were too busy talking about Aiden and kind of, Pecco got kind of lost in the sauce, if you will. Colts game will be close, man. Mobile QB, solid wide receivers. I don't know. I think they put up more of a fight than, say, the Titans and the Jaguars, but I don't know, man. I think we win this game. I don't know if we're going to blow them out, but I think we win this game. So it was one more thing I wanted to talk about as well, and then we'll wrap up the show. So we've been talking a lot about, I made a video last week about which coordinator will stay. Defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. Will they both stay? Will they both go? Ben Johnson is the one that I'm kind of confident he stays. Now, if we win a Super Bowl, he might be more tempted to leave because he, mission accomplished with Detroit. Or would he want to stay and do like a Kansas City Chiefs thing or a San Francisco 49ers thing, but yet we go all the way? Will he want to try to go for that dynasty and stay in his cushy primo position, probably be able to get a raise in pay as well? If you guys remember, heading into the 2023 season, Sheila threw the bag at him, was like, yo, here's what it's going to take to get you to stay. He got a pay increase. Aaron Glenn might be up for one too at the end of this year. So the thing I have now is I've been hearing, I was very adamant that Aaron Glenn would not go to the New York Jets if Aaron Rodgers was there. Well, turns out that Aaron Rodgers has no control over whether or not he stays in New York. The coach is fired, Aaron's fault. The GM is fired. That's Aaron's fault as well. One guy he not going to get fired is Aaron Glenn. We had this discussion before. Aaron Glenn, y'all, hey, listen. I think Beyonce said it the best. She said, you must not know about me. You don't know Aaron Glenn has never been coached by a certain type of coach. I'm going to just put it like that. I ain't trying to start no trouble. But Aaron Glenn he ain't going to the same team that Aaron Rodgers played for. And I've been watching all type of news segments. And they're like, no head coach is going to want to go over there if Aaron Rodgers is there. Well, I found out that the Jets they might not bring him back. He's probably not going to come back for next year. They have a potential out, which brings me to the purpose of this video. Is if Aaron Glenn wants to go to the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers is not going to be there, is that going to make that job more appealing, or is he going to remain in Detroit? I really believe that we're going to keep both of them, especially if we don't win the Super Bowl. If we do, that might be kind of reason for both of them to leave. But we know what Ben wants. Aaron, is that something he wants to do? More, does he want to be a head coach more than he wants to, because if you become a head coach, especially with a dysfunctional organization, all right, Dan Campbell took a real gamble coming to Detroit because we were dysfunctional. We were these teams. When I watch the New York Jets and I see their fan base, I'm like, wow, that was the Detroit Lions 4 years ago. That was us. They're wearing bags over their head. They're calling for, I think it's funny, nobody's really calling for Aaron Glenn. I will say that he doesn't get as much love as Ben Johnson has been getting, especially this year. But when I see those teams, like the Jets, right? The Jets have won a Super Bowl. The Jets have been to multiple Super Bowls. They got legends, right? As far as historic legends. But it's a job that not many people are going to want to take on. Do I think Aaron Glenn could do it? Yeah, hard-nosed, tough, you know what I mean? He could go over there, but will he? Woody Johnson, very medley, and I'm going to tell you what, Dan Campbell, when you have a coaching tree is more than just having coaches who coached under you to go be a head coach somewhere else. It's also about dropping knowledge. Dan Campbell, listen, I played for Detroit. I wanted to be here. Okay. Aaron Glenn played for the Jets. So he might be the perfect guy to bring that organization out of the dirt because they're going to be at the dirt. But Dan Campbell could coach him up and say, listen, Woody Johnson, he likes the metal. Sheila, get out the way. So if you're telling Ben Johnson and you're telling Aaron Glenn, yeah, being a head coach is great. I'm going to miss both you guys because we heard Dan Campbell say it. You know, he might even shed a tear or two. I don't know, I might shed a tear or two. You know what I'm saying? But if you're going to go over here, Aaron, you got to have an owner that's out the way. You got to have an owner that you don't even hear about the owner, right? Well, you know why? One of the reasons Sheila don't get a lot of credit, because we don't hear about her. Think about Jerry Jones. I watched the podcast, and they said that typically when a team is done with the game, you go into the locker room and you talk to the players. That's what you talk to, right? We don't see Brad Holmes. We have not seen him interviewed. He has not spoken this season, right? They said with the Cowboys, they stand outside the locker room. They wait for Jerry Jones to come out. They talk to him first. Then they go talk to the players, right? Now, he's the owner and the GM. Something you don't want to be a part of. So Aaron Glenn, I think that if anybody could go to the Jets, it would be AG. Is that something that he would want to do? Is Dan Campbell like, yo, you know, you need to go somewhere where they let you do your job? Because that's what Sheila has done with our team. She has let these guys, and that was one of the issues with William Clay Ford. He was too involved. Get out the way, right? He was much more involved than Martha and Sheila now. So Aaron Rodgers being gone from the Jets potentially, I don't know. It's coming out that the owner wanted to bench him after week 4. Aaron Rodgers is probably gone. There's no way Aaron goes there with Aaron. It ain't going to be 2 Aarons on that team or part of that team, right? As far as coach. Because like I said before, Aaron Rodgers don't know. He going to know what's up if Aaron Glenn go over there. He's still there. But I assure you, Aaron Glenn ain't going over there with Aaron Rodgers. So if Aaron Rodgers departs and they get rid of him, cut him, whatever they see fit, it would open the door for the perfect situation as far as a guy that played for this organization. But is Aaron Glenn going to want to deal with that? Because you don't get a lot of second chances at head coaches. You don't. You have to be an outstanding head coach to get a second chance. Look at Vrabel, out for a year. He tried to get a job. What's his name? Bill Belichick tried to get a job. Both of them will probably be in the league next year. But these are great NFL coaches who did not get hired this coaching cycle. You don't get a lot of second chances. So let me know. Do you think Aaron Rodgers not being in New York anymore is a reason that Aaron Glenn would go? Do you think both coordinators stay? Do you think they both go? I think they both stay. I really do. Because you can't, listen, we all know what's up. You see something out on the street that look real good. You know what I'm saying? The lady in red, she look real good. You got what you need at home. You got what you need. Everything's perfect. But you see this lady in red, okay? You know what I'm talking about. All the 80s people know what I'm talking about. You stay at the crib. You think the lady in red offers you more than the crib got. You keep your butt at home. So I'm not sure either one of them leave, but let me know your thoughts down below. Let me catch up. Coach will be blowout. I think if we getting close, if we keep getting close to our Super Bowl, our coaches will stay and keep kicking at that door a bit. And we win the Super Bowl, both of them will get the bag and stay. I never thought about that, getting the bag and staying if we win. I'm thinking dynasty. I don't understand why coordinators leave amazing situations just to be head coaches, saying with players take pay cuts to build a dynasty and win rings. You know what, Camille? I think that's what we've seen. And we talked about it last week about how coaches are getting fired at like record rates. Look at what's the dude's name? The Frank Wright. They're getting fired at record numbers. Some owners, their patience is 0, right? So I think that's making coordinators rethink their situation. I don't know why Eric Bieniemy was not really a head coach. I don't know if, and I'm going to be real, man. We got the Rooney rule. How many times has Aaron Glenn, up until this season, I believe Aaron Glenn was the token black guy. Hey, look, don't get mad at me. That's the Rooney rule. The Rooney rule should be called token black guy. That's what it should be called. So I think this year, though, because the Detroit Lions defense is playing the best they've played collectively, I think that he has a legit chance to be a head coach after this year. Does he want to leave? I don't know. I have no idea. Lions can be a legit dynasty. What's up? What's up, E? A passing game coordinator's responsibility include watching and drawing every pass on first and second down from every formation, helps them understand That's what the opposing team is trying to do and who they are. Jerry need to sell the team, the whole roof falling apart. I heard somebody say they ain't winning nothing until Jerry is done, until he gone. Whether, until he sells the team. Like the girls in red, the Devil Wears Prada. They spend all this time getting our team where it is. They're not just walking away. Yeah, what do you think of Robert Saleh if AG leaves? I would love to give him a shot, but knowing the Detroit Lions, man, they're going to be internal. I feel like they're going to be internal. I mean, you heard Dan Campbell talking about the brotherhood between Jameer and David. I feel like the coaching staff is like that too. I think they're grooming somebody. I would love to see what Robert could do. I mean, seeing as how he had a great defense in San Francisco, I would love to see what he was capable of, but I'm not sure the Detroit Lions would do that. So I don't know. But anyway, y'all, it was an interesting show. I appreciate y'all for coming through as always. We will try to be on Friday. It really depends on, I don't need a ton of stuff done on my car, just rotation, but they like, we might need to do this, to do that. And I want my car to last for a while. Paid it off last year, ready to be, rock another year with it. And I take it to the dealer. I know. Take it to the dealer. They do the little 21-point inspection. And that's, that's one of the ways your car can last, right? So I'm going to take it there. If they say a lot of stuff needs to be done, which I don't feel that anything really needs to be done. I'm going at like 8 in the morning. So I should be home. I might be home in enough time to do one last show before Sunday's game, but I will try to do it because I like to get some content out. And I will be at the game this Sunday. There's a chance, y'all, I could be at every game. Like, I might try to go to all the remaining games. What do we have? Because we got like a bunch at home now, right? So I'll be in Indy, that's one. Then we play Thanksgiving. Somebody got a ticket. They're not holding it for me, but I got to check with them to see if it's still available. If it's still available, I might go to Thanksgiving. So that'll be 2. Then you've got the Thursday night game. Right now, I'm not going to that. I might try to go to that depending on what the tickets are looking like to be in there for that Thursday night game. So that will be that. The Buffalo game, I got a ticket to that already. Shout out to my mans. You know who you are. Then the Bears game, I'm going to wait and see. I checked some tickets last night. They're affordable. But the thing about it, I got to know what the weather's going to be. I cannot go and I cannot do outside like that, y'all, like in the cold. I got frostbite when I was like 7. And if you haven't had frostbite, man, frostbite sucks. Like, it could be 40 degrees and your hands are freezing, right? So I'm not doing that. Plus, I would have to drive there in the snow and all that. So that could be the one game. And then the next week, I'll be in San Fran. And then the last game against the Minnesota Vikings, depending on what we're playing for, I might not go. So I don't know. But I plan to try to go to as many games as possible down the stretch. Tomorrow, I will be getting on the season ticket holder list. So I'm excited about that, doing that. What y'all saying? Panthers beat y'all think we're wearing the black unis for Thanksgiving? I think they already announced which one it is. Hey, Fave, you know what, bro? It's like, I don't know, man. It's just super fun, bro. It's super fun. Like, I love streaming the games. I really do. But being there is like, yo, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be real, man. I get kind of, I'm not jealous or anything, but I like, dang, man. Season ticket holders, they really got a really good deal. They get stuff for them throughout the season. You have events for them. You get first dibs on playoff tickets. They're not as expensive as regular people. You know what I mean? So I think the Lions have been bad for a long time. 5 years ago, I wouldn't support them. This channel wouldn't even be a thing, like, to this extent. Spent thousands of dollars on what you see around me, right? All of this stuff. Would not have done that. They weren't getting my money, but they've earned it. And I wish I would have got on there when they were still bad, because then I would already be a season ticket holder. But anyway, no, I'm jealous. It's too easy. Living the best life. Yeah, listen, they having a great time. I love watching their stuff. Black unis on Thanksgiving. Really? I thought it was against the Bills. But hey, so I think we wore the throwback ones or something like that, right? The helmets last year, so we'll see. But anyway, appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for being part of the channel. I hope you got to comment on the giveaway because, yeah, it's closed now. It is closed. Yeah. Braylon, if you don't, I got something for you anyway, brother. So don't even worry about it, man. This channel is brought to you by viewers, subscribers, and members. Wait a minute. What channel am I on? I forgot, man. Listen, I will catch y'all on Friday. Hopefully, go Lions and keep supporting the channel, man. Peace.
Hello, hello, good morning. Horns is blowing, and I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, everything ain't pretty, but it's love though. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah.